Hello and welcome everybody, as I welcome you to, of course, to this Techlabs Minsk online qualifiers presented to you by Heflatv. My name is Coucher and together with me is Mito. And what do you actually think of this upcoming game?
Wow, it's definitely going to be very exciting. I have to say, but my favorite Dota is CIS Dota. It's just so high impact. Remember the game we saw between Power Rangers and Virtus Pro for the excellent Moscow Cup? 2 minutes in, we're already having a 4-on-4 engagement between the mid tier 1 and tier 2 towers. Once again, I'm going to be looking forward to just a lot of constant brawling and wow,
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
I mean, just some true CIS Dota, like you said. That's what we're waiting for. And one thing to mention as well, we even have a statsman for this game today. It's Prophet. So kudos to him as well for being with us here. You probably won't hear him, but he'll be here within spirit. And oh, Power Rangers, they start out with a rather weird ban being the Pugna.
Wow, this is somewhat interesting. When you ban out the Pugna, would you say it's a preemptive ban so that they can pick up the Invoker and not have to feel the hero is going to get countered?
Well, it might have been so, but they can't get their hands on the Invoker at the very least. I mean, what other heroes could Power Rangers actually be aiming at with the Pugna ban?
That is very specific. So you have heroes like Shadow Shaman. Uh, if
Maybe
you're
a
up against
Darkseer
Pug-
even? I'm not sure.
Darkseer, Sand King, Morphling. Oh, have you seen the Morphling machine gun under the Pugna ward? As soon as the ward is dropped, right, and you try to morph your HP, and you're just like spamming like. Wow, it's insane. It's like you're watching CS.
Lord. I actually have not had the privilege to see that, unfortunately. And well, by the looks of it, I won't be able to see it this game either. But looking at the rest of the draft now, Power Rangers, they actually got their hands on the Mirana, and that hero is just so ridiculously good. So you see it 100% pretty much either banned or picked, of course. But Dream Team grabbing a Shadow Demon and Sand King, and well, the Shadow Demon does make up for the Sand King's early weakness, being the low range on the Burrow Strike. The disruption, of course, helps him get in range. But we see a Tusk as well, so Power Rangers, not only did they throw an unorthodox ban at us, they're going for the picks as well.
Oh, okay. So this is big. So initially, like you mentioned, Mirana. You can never really go wrong with the Mirana first pick these days. It feels like it would just fit into your lineup, no matter how. Whereas Dreamtime, they picked a very potent dual roaming combo as well. I mean, you've got the Shadow Demon to set up for the easiest Burrow Strike. One of the weakness of having a Sand King is the initial level. When you're level 1 Sand King, unless you start out with the Boots of Speed, it's extremely hard to be able to catch up to people and land that Burrow Strike. But with the Shadow Demon setup, that's going to be easy. But the Sand King will be countered by the Tusker. Should it ever try to team fight with the Epicenter, the likeliness of the Tusker just rolling his whole team in and completely wasting the Epicenter and then rolling into you, smashing, I love this pick. But at the same time, if you think about the laning phase, Sand King is, funny enough, is a counter to Tusker as well. Because if you do roll your teammates into one person, so that's 3 people standing right next to each other, it just makes the easiest Burrow Strike of Sand King's life.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword. So, I mean, the Tusk definitely has to be aware of where he's snowballing or how many people he's going to take with him. But just even as a solo snowball, it's really nice for himself to just maybe dodge a few spells. But actually, one really weird thing is that the Batrider, it got banned out in the second phase, and at first I didn't even notice it, but both teams just overlooking pretty much the strongest initiator in the game in the first phase.
Well, like, do you still remember the days where Batrider was first ban or first pick every single game? I'm so glad we moved past that, but it is somewhat strange to still not see hero in the first pick phase. It is very powerful. It has such an easy time in the off lane, and if anything, can always go back to jungle. And it's very rare where you don't see a Batrider with a Blink Dagger under 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's definitely the case, but well, unfortunately or luckily, don't even know which, we won't be seeing it in this game as Dream Team. The third pick for them being the Viper, so just going for a rather standard and tanky, like mid-game oriented hero.
Yeah, indeed. I'm still trying to figure out why they banned out the puck as well as the boom clinks. What about these two heroes are they
Silence.
so afraid of?
I mean,
Yes, indeed, the silence.
do,
So what's
do they
what
maybe want
actually
to go for
setups?
something like a Storm Spirit themselves? I wouldn't think that's gonna be the pick for them.
Wow. So far, the cards have not been revealed, at least I would say for Dreamtime. This could be a tri-lane of its own. It can be an aggressive tri-lane, it can be a defensive tri-lane, you can have the Viper mid-solo. So until the next pick, then we'll be able to perhaps somewhat decipher Dreamtime's lineup. As for Power Rangers, I always love seeing a jungler like Enchantress or Chen and just doing those like sick body blocks or like just I don't know. It just feels like when you have a Chen or Enchantress on your team, the early game especially, is just that much more interesting. And Enchantress being a hero that can make early rotations, since you're always going to be in the jungle, the opponents won't know where you are. You could be ganking top, you could be ganking mid, or even making far rotations towards bottom. And with the Enchantress, especially at level 1, you can grab multiple creeps. It allows you to down towers extremely early.
Well, the Enchantress, that is definitely the one benefit. I mean, she might fall off a little bit late depending on maybe if she gets like an early Midas into Aghanim Scepter, Mask of Madness, something crazy like that. She can actually dish out a ton of damage with that as well. But usually you don't see Enchantresses getting to that phase actually. But what do you think either team is gonna try to round up their lineup with?
I feel right now, Dreamtime, the lineup is still very open. I would say looking at the first three heroes, Mirana, Tusker, Enchantress, heroes such as Storm Spirit, which you mentioned, I feel right now it would be a relatively good pick. There's no direct counter to Storm Spirit. Everything is skill shot so far from Power Rangers. Oh, Weaver runs along the same line as well. There are just no easy ways for Power Rangers to shut him down as of now. So, with Weaver being chosen, are we potentially looking at a Viper mid? Or is it going to be an aggressive trialing and leaving Weaver in the safe lane? It's still so hard to determine until we actually get inside the game and until we see the complete lineup from both sides.
That's actually a pretty brilliant way of drafting overall as well. Because in Power Rangers, it just makes their counter drafting so much harder. Because, I mean, how do they plan to even set up their lanes? And even if they plan it one way, Dream Team, they might just throw it on their heads. So, I mean, Dream Team at the moment, draft-wise, definitely a really strategic draft of sorts. Power Rangers, fourth pick about to come out. I mean, I guess the Tusk is support, or at least that's really what he's run as. But do you actually think it might be a farming Tusk?
Oh, I would love to see a farming Tusk, but I don't think we've seen it ever since Alliance played it as a full carry. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it just feels like the skill set, it's so ganking oriented, and even though that ultimate scales with the items, the cooldown just stops you from using this hero as a full-on carry. I have to say it has to be a support Tusker looking at the game, but Tusker with Enchantress, you can roll in the summon units as well, which just makes this dual roaming even more powerful because every unit you bring in, that's additional damage, and you roll faster as well.
That's gonna be a damn hasty snowball indeed. I mean, and that's actually a really well thought out combination as well, because usually Enchantress, I mean, actually the Tusk might be one of the strongest in rotation with her. But Power Rangers, they actually grab themselves a Night Stalker, a hero we don't see all that often. I saw a few of him in the Chinese qualifiers just today, but other than that, I mean, Night Stalker, he used to be really popular but has fallen off. But since Dream Team, they actually banned off Klinks as the Orchid Silence as well as the Puck. But Power Rangers, they don't care as they pick up another in the form of the Night Stalker.
Funny enough, like, you're looking at DT right now, and I think it was the Chinese DT that used a lot of Night Stalkers whenever the Panda and Brewmaster was banned out. But Night Stalker, this is something that's sorely needed. If you look at Dreamtime's lineup, up against the early farmed up Night Stalker, heroes, every single one of them would die just extremely fast. The only question comes down to is, how is this Night Stalker going to be getting the levels needed, necessary, if it's going to be a Viper mid? Night Stalker, sure, you can use the Void to farm, but Viper can zone you out very efficiently. As well as Power Rangers, so far, it just feels like they lack the team fight power. It seems like it's all going to be small skirmishes across the map and small ganks, but when it comes to a full 5-on-5, Dreamtime, they just have so much more. And now they even have two mech carriers on the team. It can either be the Viper or the Darkseer.
And you were talking about Power Rangers looking for small skirmishes, but Dream Team, with the Darkseer finish, I mean, they just have so much team fight. I mean, the Darkseer Sanking combination is just ridiculously strong. Vacuum into however many heroes got vacuumed into the Burrow Strike. And of course, if the Epicenter is on top of that, that's just the death of you almost already. I mean, Night Stalker usually goes for a BKB anyway, at least if he's up against that much magic damage that Dream Team has to offer. But I mean, Power Rangers, okay, they go for the Tidehunter now, so that's some team fight of their own at least. But even if they get the hit early and the mid game, it's going to be really hard for them to actually break base against Sanking and Darkseer.
Oh, indeed. And it feels like Dreamtime, the late game potential, it's... Sorry, is it Dream Team or is it Dreamtime?
It's Team.
Okay. Sorry about the confusion, guys. But the late game potential is much stronger than Power Rangers as well. Sure, Enchantress, it can rotate into a full-on carry, but in terms of the carrying capacity compared to a Weaver, it's just not really on the same level. And in Viper, once you have the Aghanim Scepter, it's just so annoying to deal with. It goes through BKB, it slows your attack speed, it slows your attack speed by 80, slows your movement speed by 80%. And I gotta say, when your carry is being slowed by that much, the efficiency just goes down.
Yeah, it certainly does, but taking this small time to introduce the teams, I'm starting with Dream Team because of course they don't have tags or anything, so 2-2-3-2 should be PGG on the Sand King, leaving what I would guess is going to be no fear on the Shadow Demon, with ZXC playing the Viper since he's heading towards the mid lane anyway, Nubik of course their carry on the Beaver, and Afterlife to play the offlane role on the Darkseer.
Yep, and on the Radiant side, we just stick already rotating very aggressively into the Radiant jungle. Well, not Radiant jungle, the Radiant secret shop as an Enchantress. Down at mid, we have FNG gonna be playing as... It has to be a support Tusker, yeah. And at mid, we're gonna have Scandal playing as a mid solo Night Stalker. At top, Moon's gonna be playing as the carry Mirana. And finally, down at bottom, we're gonna have J4 playing as the Tidehunter.
I mean, laning wise, like you talked about as well, Night Stalker should not have too good of a time against the Viper, unless maybe Power Rangers rotate with the Tusk and the Enchantress early on. And sure, like you said as well, Void can farm up with his... Not Void, the Night Stalker can farm up with the Void, but it's nothing like a Magnus Shockwave or Dragon Knight Breathe Fire.
Wow, so far it seems like my internet is having a little bit of an issue, so I'm just gonna quickly go reconnect.
Okay,
sorry about that.
Sounds good. As well, lanes rather passive. Afterlife, of course, just going for the annoying Ion Shell spam already. He's not level 2 yet, has to be a little bit careful, but shouldn't be too afraid of the Tusk actually. Tusk hasn't skilled up anything yet. Crystal Shards might be quite useful, of course, just to prevent him from running away, even with the Surge, buying some time because he has to run all the way around the Crystal Shards. Or Ice Shards even? Nope. Yeah, Ice Shards. But still, oh, bottom lane, Sanking, he wants to come in, but no boost of speed. J4 should be able to outrun him, and he's fast enough indeed. So mid lane, actually so far, ZXC 6 and 3 compared to Scandal's 5 and 0. So Scandal, of course, early levels, Viper can't harass you that effectively anyway, because doesn't have enough points in Poison Attack or maybe even Nether Toxin. And actually, he is maxing Nether Toxin, at least for the first skills. So 2 in Nether Toxin, 1 in Poison Attack. And with that build, actually, it's just a full-on harass build against the enemy. It's really hard to go up against that, to be honest. I mean, Night Stalker, or rather a Day Stalker at the moment. Not... Oh god! Afterlife? There's the Ice Shards coming in. He's completely blocked even with the Surge. Oh, FNG. That was a beautiful Ice Shards. A little bit lucky there maybe with the block. There's the Snowball to roll as well. They get the mini-stun. Right clicks coming out by both FNG and Vishasik. They need a little bit more. Oh my god. If only the Night Stalker's lane would not have been pushed out. One Void would have made the difference there, but no first blood coming out yet. Unfortunately, as Afterlife does manage to survive in the end.
And I'm back. And I saw that engagement, but it was unfortunate. Darkseid is able to get away very safely. Just want to point out some of the ways that people do play Night Stalker, and indeed Scandal is doing it in this game. So what a lot of pros do is you only learn level 1 Void, and you keep the rest You just don't up the void. You just leave it as like unlearned. So because level 1 void only takes up 80 mana cost. And if you look at void, the ability goes up by 10 mana cost per level. So being able to spam out the void, allowing Scannel to use it to last hit, will ensure that by the first nighttime, 4 minutes in, he will have at least, yeah, already have it, boots and bottle.
Well, he did go for the second point in it now, but I guess the 10 mana, not that bad. Oh, the Ice Shard, they actually connect on ZXC, they get the Void with the slow Snowball to follow, the Warstone Post there already. Actually, they should have enough damage, and that is the first blood by Witchastic, as, no fear, he rotates in on the Shadow Shaman, but a little bit too late to the party, so a really nice first blood and giving Scandal some breathing room.
Well, indeed, so that was a very nice first blood, and I have a feeling after this game, we're gonna see a lot more of Tusker plus a jungler combo. It's just so freaking ridiculously strong.
Yeah, it is very well possible. And actually, thanks to the Shadow Demon rotation now, Nubik actually taking some harassment from J4 because the Tidehunter, it's actually really hard to bring him down when he has a Stout Shield plus Kraken Shell, which is level 2 at the moment. So this Tide, he's getting actually a lot of levels considering he's an offlaner.
Yeah, Tidehunter is just freaking tanky right now. Yeah, this is also something that's relatively new. Sure, you still max Anchor Smash, but instead of learning Gush, the offlaner these days seems to be maxing out the Kraken Shell as well. This just ensures Tidehunter being able to survive in the offlane. But I'm not quite sure because I know in Dota 1 it doesn't stack. But if you look at J4, he has a Stout Shield and he's learned Kraken Shell.
Yeah, as far as I know, it should be that if the Stout Shield doesn't proc, then the Kraken Shell takes over. But if the Stout Shield procs, then the Kraken Shell is useless. So it's like just having 100% at least some of the damage blocked, more or less.
Oh, okay, so that's the way it works in Dota too? Because, like, the way I remember it was Kraken Shell completely overrides Stout Shield. But, wow, so there are a lot of things. I'm learning a lot of things just by watching.
I've heard that point of information. Oh, mid lane. Oh, they might get the kill. He's so slow. There's the troll trap as well. Even the value point in the Frozen Sigil. And like, once we saw the Tusk in the first game, I think, or the first time we saw him, you talked about him going for the Frozen Sigil and that being a really strong spell. And well, he went for it. Oh, but FNG taking so much tower harassment. Now Shadow Demon might be in trouble as, oh god, FNG will he actually go down. Afterlife goes in with the Ion Shell, grabs the kill, but they lose the Shadow Demon for it. But FNG, I actually don't understand what he was doing running under the tower like that. Well, I guess...
I have no idea.
I mean, it wasn't really worth it even because Tusk was a little bit higher leveled than No Fear at the time, so I don't know.
Well, like, I love the way Power Rangers have laned. So Mirana, being a hero as it is, can lane against the Doxia without that much of a problem. I mean, they're both going to get last hits, but they know Night Stalker is going to be struggling against the Viper. So this constant rotation, if you look at it, Viper is actually only level 5, whereas Scandal is almost level 7. And you look so, you know, those rotations has been very successful. And not only that, they're pulling all the supports from Dream Team mid as well.
Oh, wow. They really get Scandal because of it now. It's, well, just disruption setup. It's a bit too hard to go up against. And actually that, man, 4 heroes for the kill. I guess it's still worth it, but it's giving them space. And bot only the kill of Nubik. Anchor Smash into Ice Shards and Snowball. And that was about it. I mean, we were early on with no items. He's really squishy, and actually he had 1.4k gold in the bank. Do you think he was actually maybe aiming for a faster Hand of Midas?
Well, it has to be. Why else would you save up that much money? I don't think there's anything else that you would directly buy at the starting of the game as a Weaver. But instead, now Weaver knows that he needs a little bit more tankability, so he picks up the Ring of Aquila instead. Wow, but once again, we witnessed the power of the Tusker, and the rotations out of Power Rangers is just... So far, Dream Team just don't have an answer for.
And at the moment, Power Rangers, they're also going for the tier 1 tower top lane. Actually, they're waiting, hoping for somebody to rotate him, because Scandal, it is the first nighttime, it's actually gonna wear off in 40 seconds or so. So he might or might not get 1 kill out of it, and if he doesn't, he's just wasting some farming time.
Yeah, this is actually a little bit of the awkward problem, and part of the reason why Night Stalker has fallen off is because generally Night Stalker gets what you get to around level 7 in say 5 to 6 minutes, And in old days, 6 minutes was when the first night comes. So you have that prowess in the first night, 6 minutes until 12 minutes. Whereas right now, it feels like the first night starts at 4 minutes and you're under a lot of pressure to be able to make rotations happen. But 4 minutes into the game, you're most likely only level 5, and sometimes you just don't even know if you already have the boots and the bottle. Sometimes you're just still desperately trying to farm up, scrape a little more, and then like by the time you do have the boots, it's like 7 minutes in, and the nighttime ends at 8 minutes.
Do you actually think it just might be worth it to completely wait for the secondary nighttime? Oh, the haste rune on Sanking.
Wow.
What a lucky rune to get, because Scandal otherwise, I mean, he definitely would have gotten the kill.
Yeah, and because mid lane has been so hectic, there's no time for the Sand King to be stacking at all. And this Tidehunter, it feels like from the laning stage, Power Rangers just have a huge upper hand. You see this Tidehunter, no one's zoning him out. He's just standing here, enjoying his last hits. Sand King tried, but, you know, as a melee and you get Anchor Smash, you just can't contest a Tidehunter.
I mean, Tidehunter, it's kind of like a Darkseer against melee heroes, more or less. It's really annoying. I mean, Anchor Smash actually might even be a little bit stronger than Ion Shell in some regards, but just FNG, he's waited a long time on this bottom lane, and they actually might have the potential to kill off Nubik if they just can stun lock him down with the Ravage and the Snowball. But it's a risky business, and oh, the rotations are coming in. But the Enchantress is coming. Oh, the Ice Sharks fly out. There's the Disruption. Soul Catcher to connect FNG. There's the Snowball. And will they go for the Ravage? No, the Burrow Strike comes out just before, and J4, he's in somewhat of a trouble now. Enchantress is there with the Sentry Ward. So PGG, he has to escape. The Ravage actually connects on 2. And Mirana rotated in as well, helping out. And the Ravage actually killed off the buff that he connected into. And oh, Nubik now. There's no mana for time lapse, and he goes down to the Impetus. Well,
wow, so this was definitely not what I expected. Power Rangers, man, their aggressive style is just, from what I've seen, it's been working so well for them. Incredibly well, up against Virtus Pro, and now against Dream Team. This Enchantress, dual roaming, Enchantress +1, man, I don't think there are that many teams that play this kind of aggression so freaking early and just so efficiently.
Well, actually, that has been the case for every single game we've casted of Power Ranger. Oh, the arrow connects, but the disruption is there defensively by no fear. Do they actually still want to go in? Vechasik, he has the Impetus doing some damage. Starstorm as well. Doesn't actually connect the Moon, taking a lot of harassment. Soul Catcher up. He uses the magic one, but Nubik chases him down. They're gonna get Vechasik as well, I think. He has 3 points in Untouchable. Oh, that's just such a strong ability. But with the Swarm and Nubik, Ion Shelled up, he's gonna get the kill.
Wow, so a small consolation, but the Tidehunter has came in.
He actually might go down as well. The Ion Shell still ticking, it's strong, and yes, oh, that's a triple kill. Or well, maybe not a triple kill, but still 3 heroes down.
Okay, so now it went from a small consolation to something quite substantial, because if you look at Tidehunter's gold, it's already 1800 and counting. So being able to kill the Tidehunter right before it gets a blink, it's significant. It buys Dream Team more time. And yeah, just to be able to farm up.
Oh god, that was, I mean, Power Rangers just going a bit too deep, and the Ion Shell Weaver Sukuchi combination, it just does so much damage. He doesn't even need to right click. And well, what's your opinion on PGG going for a bottle on the Sand King?
I don't like it. I don't think it's necessary at all. It's not going to help with your survival. And in terms of survival, look at it. In 30 seconds time, it's going to be nighttime again. And not only is the Night Stalker going to be a threat, but the Tidehunter should have his Blink Dagger. With Night Stalker and Tidehunter rotating around, Dream Team, it feels like they have to start grouping up or like finding pickoffs of their own while it happens. If they can kill off the Night Stalker right now, it would mean so much. It would mean the world to them.
Yeah, but how are they actually gonna set this up? I mean, maybe Surge onto the Sand King, but Scandal, just as nighttime arrives, he immediately pops his ultimate as well, so extending the nighttime even further. And Moon, just look at the damage he's doing to the tier 2 on this bottom or top lane. It's down to quarter HP already, almost.
Yeah, and without the towers, Nubik has to farm so carefully. And whoever's in the offlane needs to do the same. Wow, these are some fast towers. The top tier 2, pretty much gonna fall by the end of this push.
I mean, there's nothing they can do as well, because Afterlife. Oh, they actually want to go. There's the Burrows coming out, but the Ice Shards, they completely miss. But the Snowball into ZXC. Polar Punch as well. It's still not enough. The Starstorm. Frozen Cheese to slow down. The Epicenter does absolutely nothing. Only damages the Satyr Tormentor. Oh god, well. It's hard to set up the Epicenter without the Blink Dagger, of course. But now top lane, or rather bottom lane, Scandal, he will get the kill on No Fear. He's boxed in. Can he actually TP out the Vacuum level 1? It's enough to get the kill.
Wow. So we have two simultaneous fight, and being able to pick off the Night Stalker. Now DT will feel a little more comfortable. And dude, I think we can coin a new term. Just now we saw, like, I mean, in the past we've seen the PGG Black Holes, and just now we saw the PGG Epicenter.
Oh god, man. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it. But yeah, it does happen to Sand Kings every now and then. At least he went for it. I mean, otherwise, Power Rangers maybe could have gone even a little bit deeper. So at least scaring them off a little bit. But J4, he has his Blink Dagger finished up. FNG, he is hunting as well, but nobody's coming around because this Observer Ward, it spots out the movements, of course. And well, Moon just continues farming. Blade of Alacrity with drums, Ring of Aquila as well as Face Put, so I'm guessing Yasha would not expect a Diffusal Blade at all.
Yeah, surprisingly, if you look at the gold graph, it's expected. Power Rangers are around 5,000 gold ahead. But it's interesting when you look at the XP graph. Dream Team is actually ahead right there. I did not expect this. And I guess it was by picking off the Night Stalker that kind of shifted the XP graph by a bit. I don't know. And Nubik seems to be farming pretty nicely for himself as well.
Oh, they find J4 though. ZXC is there as well, uses the Viper Strike, but Tidehunter, a really tanky hero. And oh, this might be trouble. J4, he's dropping low, but Scandal is there. He slows down the Viper. It might be a huge fight. Ice Shard, they catch Nubik, Polar Punch as well. The Ravage comes out, Snowball, and that's the end of Nubik. The Weaver goes down. They maybe want to go for more, but they'll definitely get the tier 1 tower if not any more kills.
Wow. So, Dream Team, the towers is just crumbling one after another.
Oh, they might go for ZXC. Slow by the Void. Scandal has a haste rune as well. Arrow connects, and Scandal grabs the kill for himself. And well, the second nighttime, although Scandal died before, they're making up for it now.
Yeah, indeed. Power Rangers. How many teams do you see so often that plays this aggressively? They are just getting kills all over the map. And it feels like their lineup is very... They have the frontliners. You've got three frontliners in this case. You have the Night Stalker, you have the Tidehunter, you have the Tusker. Those two can just stand in the front and man-fight you. And you're always going to have the right-click damage coming out from the back as well. So there are no heroes that can't really do a substantial amount in their lineup so far. It's just kind of crazy to look at it.
Yeah, they actually really lack initiation as well because they don't have the Blink Dagger on the Sand King or maybe even Afterlife on the Darkseer. I mean, Darkseer's Surge helps to some extent, but you can see that coming, so you can just back off anyway. He at least does have his mech finished up, so something good for them as far as the team fights go. And well, PGG 750 gold away from the Blink Dagger, so not that far, but 16 minutes in, you would expect him to have it already.
Yeah, don't worry. We will see more PGG epicenters coming up. Well, hopefully he'll be able to get his Blink Dagger soon. Otherwise, it's just so difficult for them to pull off their combos. The Darkseer Sand King, it's not going to happen unless they both have Blink Dagger like 90% of the time. Because as soon as they walk up, they're just either going to run into a Snowball, or Tidehunter is going to pop his Ravage, or they'll simply just back off.
Oh god, they might go for the pincher. Night Stalker, he wants to come in from behind. Nighttime is still active. And looks like they're just choosing the target. The Ice Shards, if it connects, nope. They run far enough, so the Ice Shards just end. And it could have been horrible, but they actually avoid the worst. But it looks like Power Rangers, they actually might be going for a Roche. They don't have the most damage for it. But they can easily tank it up with just 6 untouchable.
Okay, so... with the Vanguard being picked up on Night Stalker, it would just take so much to kill these heroes in the front. Wow. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredibly annoying.
He even has a regeneration rune now, so even if he drops low, he can just back off and come back again, full HP, full mana, but oh, they're going aggressive, they might find No Fear. Shadow Demon has to escape, but if they kill off PGG now, he's really close to his Blink Dagger, it would hurt him. But I guess as daytime hits, they will back off.
Yeah, but once, say, Weaver gets that Lincolns, then perhaps Dreamtime will have a little bit more hope in this game. As well as the Sand King Blink Dagger. I still don't understand the bottle. Like, it baffles me. It feels like if you need the mana, you can always go for Arcane Boost later on in the game. But it is very nice for quick regeneration, and he is about 100 gold away.
I mean, that Blink Dagger definitely should change some things. I mean, level 1 Epicenter not that strong, especially if the enemy team has a mech already anyway. But once he gets level 11, I mean, he's not that far away. He's level 9 at the moment. So level 2 Epicenter, Blink coming in, it definitely can just wreck a team fight in their favor, especially as they have the Vacuum by Darkseer, which is maxed out now, plus a level 1 Wall of Replica. I mean, they just haven't been able to reveal all their weapons yet. But once they get their Blink Dagger, maybe on the Darkseer as well, these team fights are actually going to be somewhat scary for Power Rangers unless they have BKBs.
Well, at this rate, I don't even think they need BKB. Night Stalker is a Vanguard, 2,000 gold on top. Well, Tidehunter is going towards a pipe. I feel like they can just tank through all the damage, and in this case, even go for Blade Mills to counteract any of the Epicenter or Vacuum Wall combos coming out. But it's a bit trolly.
Well, top lane, Afterlife, actually Scandal, are they gonna die on Night Stalker? He's really tanky. Viper Strike comes out as well by ZXC. Scandal pops the Nighttime Wall of Replica, he's actually gonna go down. Oh god, and they kill off the tower as well. I mean, even J4 TP'd in. Fortunately, he got the blink out, but Scandal, a little bit too ballsy.
Yeah, that was definitely a forced TP, and it shouldn't have happened.
Oh, they might get J4 as well, they're going for it. The slow attack is there, Newbie coming in as well, Anchor Smash. Will it actually be enough? I don't feel like it, and he doesn't want to use the Ravage, so... I mean, Power Rangers, they got the Roche, but they gave away a tower plus 2 deaths on their cores.
Wow, that should mean Nubik, yeah, indeed. His Lincolns is almost completed. And Viper, he's not too far from his Aghanim Scepter either. So items are coming online for Dream Team, slowly and gradually.
Oh, the arrow connects on Nubik, Moon catches Starstorm, but the mech was there by Afterlife, so they don't have follow-up damage. Although the Snowball comes in onto Nubik, Polar Punch as well. But Polar Punch, I mean, it doesn't do all that much damage, it's only level 1. And Epicenter comes in, PGG actually connects halfway through onto Vijasic, but the mech comes out counteracting it. Ice Shards, really nicely done. Nubik has to escape arrow into the face of the Shadow Demon. Starstorm as well, silence. They kill off Shadow Demon, they're going for ZXC next and Viper. He wanted to kill off Enchantress, but the Untouchable was a little bit too strong for him to handle. And well, I mean, Dream Team, they looked pretty good, but Power Rangers, they strike back.
Wow, I'm quite baffled as to why the teams are forcing the fights. That Epicenter, like, it got his team started, but it didn't. He only caught one hero, and that was Enchantress. And they were diving under a tier 2 tower when Power Rangers, all the heroes respawn and already coming back into the fight. And after that fight, that Viper died, and it's not worth it at all.
Well, on a positive note, I guess, is that ZXC on the Viper is only 200 gold away from the Aghanims. Well, I mean, that's just searching for something good for them. I mean, graph-wise, well, gold lead is almost 5k in favor of Power Rangers. Used to be 7.5, so it did drop down a little bit thanks to the tier 1 tower. Well, tier 2 tower went down as well. XP graph, 1000 in Dream Team's favor, even after losing the heroes.
What do you think the Night Stalker is going for? So he's going into the secret shop. Is it going to be a point booster and going for that Aghanims?
I think so.
But this doesn't increase his damage output.
Does he actually need the damage at this point? I mean, they do actually lack some damage, but I just think having the Aghanim Scepter, it would give him so much vision, which would allow him to kind of control the initiation coming out from the Dream Team, just seeing where the Darkseer or the Sand King is coming from.
That's true, I suppose, but if Night Stalker is going for more of a utility kind of build with an Aghanim Scepter as well as a Vanguard, then you gotta look at Mirana to be able to dish out the right-click DPS. But Mirana, I don't think she's all that fat. So what items is on the courier right now that's flying out? So it's only a Manta style, but I don't know. I feel this is kind of dangerous because if you're solely relying on Mirana to carry you into the late game, you gotta remember this Weaver will be getting his farm already has Lincolns, so it's not afraid of Night Stalker's solo hunt. As long as he can see the other heroes on the map, he should be pretty okay by himself. So which alleviates a lot of pressure from the rest of his team. Like, they don't need to babysit him constantly. Then
what would actually be an alternative to the Aghanims now? Maybe a Basher or something, so just increase the damage and maybe even solo pickup potential?
personally, I don't even like the Vanguard all that much. Generally, I think a Urn is enough, and you can build the BKB directly afterwards, because BKB, it gives you strength, it gives you raw damage, so overall increases your damage output in a decent amount, and afterwards you can even potentially go for an Armlet, or before the BKB, either way, then you will have the right click damage. Or if you want to, you can also go for the Basher build, Basher into Abyssal, and having AC, then you also have a carry Night Stalker. And I mean, just having the Assault Koreas helps you take down towers faster as well, so there are plenty of alternatives to what he could potentially be building, but I guess he does want to become the utility based, so we have to look towards other heroes, and the primary one has to be the Mirana, and the secondary possibly the Enchantress, but Enchantress is nowhere near the Aghanim Scepter either. So I think even though Power Rangers play extremely well in the early game, with the item decisions, this might just create a lot of room for Dream Team to come back into this game.
I mean, they actually have the Blink Dagger on Darkseer now as well, so their team fight is a lot stronger, or at least potentially stronger. There's always a chance of them just completely whiffing their ultimates, but look at FNG just drawing the line. It's like straight down the middle, let's go, we got this. Do they actually have Pipe finished? Well, almost. Schaefer actually needs those two creeps, more or less, for it, and well, he misses on one last hit, but 60 gold away from the Pipe, and I guess with the Pipe they should feel confident, but they smoke up, so it may be a 5-on-5 smoke clash, or never mind, a 4-on-5 as Moon. He's not even there, although he has the Aegis, and it strikes me a little bit weird that they're gonna look for a fight without the Aegis carrier. But they find ZXC though. They have Vision, Eye Shard, Snowball as well coming out. Moonlight Shadow is there, but they have Sentries, I think. Oh, the Ravage connects on 4. Big Ravage with the Anchor Smash. The Vacuum comes out, but no wall to follow. No Sanking Epicenter, no nothing. And actually everybody's still alive. Afterlife finally falls down as they're gonna go for Sanking. He's in the Invis. It's not enough as Moon joins the party. 2 down, 0 for Power Ranger and Nubik now. Lincoln's popped. Can he actually escape? He does Sukuchi out. He wants to kill off Scandal. He might be successful. FNG in the background kills off the Shadow Demon and Scandal. Silences up Nubik as his last ditch effort, but a 3-for-1, and Aegis still intact, of course, on Moon as well.
Wow, but Nubik, he is the carry and he is getting the farm, and Night Stalker, after he dies, then the nighttime, it's not, but it was very costly, and I don't think Viper should have stood so far away from his team, because essentially they were cut off by the bunch of trees over here. His team was on the right side and he was on the left side all by himself. And Viper getting caught that fast in a team fight, it just means that he has no damage output. As well as, like, did you actually see this epicenter? I mean, I saw it.
I think I know what happened. He was in the trees.
Vacuumed? Or
the Sanking was actually sitting
Ravage
here in the trees or behind the trees or whatever. But the Ravage was just at the edge, and it actually connected on him as he channeled the epicenter. He was just on the edge on the Ravage. If he had been able to blink in with the epicenter, that fight could have gone just completely the other way around.
Wow, but that could have been easily game changing. That epicenter, additional what? How much damage is that? It's 110 damage per pulse, and it's a total of 10 pulse.
Oh, it's 8 pulses at the moment on level 2. But Moon, actually, he's going to lose his Aegis, maybe Nubik. He's pretty fast, but so is Moon, but the last right click, time lapse out. So no Aegis at the least for the next fight. It would have been reclaimed anyway.
But unfortunate. I mean, Sanking needs to step it up. You can't afford to get caught by the tip of that Ravage. Man, it hurt the team so bad, but nonetheless, Nubik is still doing really well. Just need another 1600 gold for that, that's so.
Yeah, it's actually... He is doing really well, like you said as well, especially considering the Power Rangers. They're actually controlling the pace of the game, and they have more map control as well. But actually, speaking of map control, just look at the vision Power Rangers has, and compare it to the one Dream Team has. Dream Team just has way more vision, but there's the Epicenter being challenged. They want to kill off Moon. Blink Epicenter. Oh my god, they get the Burst Strike. Moon leap out. Will it be enough? The last right click flew. And Nubik, I mean, they kill off Mirana. The creeps even helping out a little bit. But, well, you said PGG, he has to step it up, and I guess he took your advice.
Oh no, there's no way I can advise PGG. He is in a class of his own. That guy, like sure, he's a fun player to watch, but I do have a lot of respect for him. I remember his SF was something that I used to look up to all the time, like maybe 6-7 years ago. I'm still looking forward to like seeing him play that mid solo role one day.
Yeah, it very well might happen, but ZXC, his Aghanim Scepter finished, as is Scandal, so they both have something to work around with. But actually Viper, I mean, 12-second Viper Strike, it can definitely help out to some extent. But Tidehunter, he's not gonna show himself anyway before he blinks in and ravages. Scandal, even with the Viper Strike, to be honest, at nighttime, he's still pretty damn speedy.
Wow, so Viper making a blade mill. Now that's pretty interesting as well. Up against the heroes from Power Rangers, I don't think this.
Oh, they catch Shadow Demon mid lane. They get the Void for the slow. The Silence just came out before, and Polar Punch. It actually doesn't get the kill. He's still alive, but they will manage to do it as a team effort. J4 getting the kill.
Surprisingly, that took quite long to kill. I mean,
really
like,
thought
you're killing
the Polar Punch would have been enough already.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that kind of starts to show how reliant Power Rangers are on the magical spells. I mean, I want to say magical, but then you look at some of the skills like Anchor Smash, they're physical. So I was like, okay, so how do I put this? More of the skill shot skills? I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
just spell usage, I guess.
Yeah. But Mirana's hella farmed as well, so that's a good thing for Power Rangers. As long as Mirana can dish out the overwhelming deeps, then things are going to be fine for Power Rangers. But you have noticed just how much the game has slowed down, right?
Yeah, indeed it hasn't. Actually, the stats, Aghanim Scepter, first big item on Night Stalkers, 72.4% win rate.
Aghanim Scepter, 72 point something win rate. That's amazing. How about a Vanguard plus Aghanim Scepter?
Well, I think that might be a little bit lower. But actually, I mean, Dream Team, they're still not doing that bad, to be honest. I mean, at least gold-wise, they're hanging on. I mean, gold lead 5k, but it's not that significant. Oh, blinking by FNG. He wants to catch somebody. Ice Shards off target, but he's still chasing. He wants to go for the Walrus Punch. Oh, the haste is stronger than the surge. It lasts longer, but there's the demonic person. Just look at the snowball. It doesn't have any speed at all. And he actually gets himself caught on the high ground a little bit there. But ZXC, the Frozen Sigil does help out. They're finally gonna kill it off. That's actually 120 gold.
He wants. Oh, okay. Wow. PGG dies to the Mirana again.
Oh, they might go for more. Oh, there's the Ravage. Connects on all four heroes. Scandal is there as well. Can they get the Silence Walrus Punch onto Afterlife? Oh, the Vacuum actually catches free, but the wall only on one. And now Shadow Demon goes down. PGG both back for it as well, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late. Nubik though, he made Moon back off with his Desolator. They are still fighting. Nubik drops really low. There's the dust as well, but the Epicenter comes in on the tankiest heroes of Power Rangers. Oh god, Scandal not even down to half HP from it. And thus, I think they're going to kill off ZXC. He is tanky. The Corrosive Skin is annoying. He might get the kill on J4. Last right click. The poison damage. It's not enough. Almost. But Scandal actually does fall down. Nubik comes in from the side. He cleans up Moon. A few right clicks. Nubik can he actually get it? The last right click gets disjointed. But PGG Burrow Strike. It connects and they get the kill. Wow.
Oh my goodness. And you saw how prolonged that fight was. PGG got picked off by himself, buys back, rejoins the fight, and that was a beautiful epicenter. Even though he did get it on the very tanky heroes, but as you can see, Power Rangers with the the innate lackings of right-click physical damage is hurting them. And eventually, when the fight draws out long enough, after all the spells are casted, you saw Dream Team just come out on top in that particular fight.
Walrus Punch onto Nubik, the Gush as well, the Anchor Smash, they get the kill. That was a really fast counter kill for them, or not even a counter kill, but just a pick off. They won't get more, or actually Shadow Demon might be in trouble. He goes for the TP out, no Ravage to stop him. And well, still, they got the carry. I mean, I guess they have enough damage if they have their spells, but like you said as well, if it's a prolonged fight, and they've already used all their spells, They actually are found lacking.
Ah, yeah, indeed. Wow, Weaver, I bet even he was not expecting it to happen. I mean, he stood there thinking, yeah, I've got all the skill set to run away, and then, boom, a couple of Walrus Punch, and then Blinken with the Anchor Smash. He just he just melted. So I guess the next big step for Weaver, he doesn't need to go for deeps, to be quite frank. I think he just needs the tank ability. So either a BKB or a straight heart would be nice. Because if he tanks up right now, who can potentially contest him or take him out of a fight? Ravage? Sure, you can use a Ravage, but it's not gonna hurt. So until you have that double Ravage, I feel like a heart would be great on a Weaver.
Actually,
or a BKB.
Wouldn't mind the BKB that much because I guess he has to be somewhat scared of Scandal just silencing him in the fights as well.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a problem. So BKB, you can't go wrong with that item in this game at least. And he already has Lincolns for the regen, mana as well as just the HP regen. So BKB on top, then with the magic immunity, he would just be able to come in and out of fights at his will.
And well, speaking of BKBs, Afterlife Found the Darkseid actually has his finished. So next fight he should be able to get the near perfect vacuum into wall combination without actually getting disrupted before. I mean, last fight it was the vacuum hit on free. I mean, he was really far away from it, so I actually thought he won't even get it on free. But he did manage to get it, but the wall, it just got delayed by like one stun in between. But this time, he should be fine, and well, I think PGG actually might have to go for a BKB of his own to just ensure the epicenter.
Yeah, it's crucial in this game. Normally you'll be like, yeah, I can get away with it, and I'll buy up a Veil of Discord, but in this game, with the Tide Hunter's Ravage, the AoE is ridiculously big. As well as, there's nothing else once you have the BKB that can really cancel out the epicenter, except for that Walrus Punch. So, BKB can't go wrong.
It's so funny to watch the XP graph. It's still 1000 in Dream Team's favor. Just up and down, but somehow Dream Team, they have a small lead, and Goldcraft, it's only actually 3000 in Power Rangers' favor. So even though they won the last fight, they're still not invincible in Scandal. He's on the hunt with the gem, with the Agony Scepters. He sees PGG, he's going for it, the silence is there, but ZXC Viper struck up. Scandal, I mean, did he go into deep? J4 blinks in as well, but Scandal a little bit too far away from his team.
Yeah, every time it's nighttime, it's just gonna be a standoff between the two teams. And don't forget, like, Night Stalker, the vision, if I remember correctly, it affects the opponent as well. They have the vision range reduced. And with such low vision, I mean, if you look at these heroes, the range is ridiculously small. So they have to group up and play safe. Because if they ever run into clashes, Power Rangers will have to sight vision over them. And Power Rangers can decide whether or not they want to engage.
If you just toggle the vision on the Radiant side, they just don't have any. The heroes are all the vision they have on the map. 0 wards, and of course, it's almost impossible to hide any wards from a gem Aghanim's Night Stalker anyway.
Yeah, and then if you look at the dire vision, oh my goodness, this Night Stalker running around the Aghanim Scepter.
That's just ridiculously big, to be honest. I mean, he sees more than the Blink Dagger range is.
Ah, yeah. And something else we forgot to mention.
No, he's gonna be fine. The Burrow Strike just off.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. It was a very good, at least a good try. Nubik, he does need to go eventually into MKV. Otherwise, there's no answers to Butterfly from Moon. So
what do you actually think of him going for the Butterfly? I mean, you were talking before that Power Rangers, they are lacking just the damage output in a prolonged team fight, but I mean, the Butterfly doesn't help too much with the damage.
Yeah, it does give you a lot of evasion though, and the overall stats is just like the ultimate fighting item, I suppose. If you have the money, then I don't see why not go for it. And because he went for the Butterfly, it kind of shows that maybe he wants to take it into like a 6-slot carry Mirana, because that is something pretty disgustingly good as well. Because if you see the Mirana go for Deso, then you know, hey, this item is one of the most cost-efficient damage items in the game. But it's so mid-game oriented, and you can't have lifesteal along the way. So if you go for the Butterfly, it just kind of says, hey, okay, so I'm going to have the opportunity to stack up on orbs, maybe lifesteal, maybe even Scotty or like Mjolnir, one of those, or even like have crits on top, and it's gonna be a 4-on-6 slot carry Mirana. So I don't know. It just feels like this game, the decision making is quite interesting. You know, like in these prolonged games where they had such a huge lead, but it feels like with their item choice, it bought a lot of space for Dream Team, and now to the point where it's gone into the point where it could swing either way.
I mean, Viper, not the hardest late game carry, but he's still pretty annoying to bring down, especially as Power Rangers, they do lack the damage somewhat. I mean, Corrosive Skin helps against the magic, and he's going for a Vitality booster. Oh, FNG goes in mid, they want to kill off the Sanking, the Walrus Punch was there, the Burrow Strike onto 2 though, can they actually kill off FNG there? Oh, Ravage hits on 3, they want to kill off PGG, they will be successful. Can they go for more? ZXC, he's trying to be annoying, he's gonna TP out, it's actually gonna be successful, just barely though. And now Nubik, he gets silenced up Scandal, the Void is on cooldown, so no slow, and he should be fine, but the Snowball, it will connect for them. Can they get the follow-up stance? There's the Walrus punching in, the arrow actually was off target, the time-lapse comes out, Nubik, he's really fast, but is he fast enough? There's another slow on him, Lincoln's popped, I can't believe he's just outrunning them so heavily, but FNG is there, another Ice Shards, and Nubik, he's boxed in, he's gonna go down.
Wow, so those are some really big pickoffs, but in the meantime, Doxia is just split pushing, and this is great. This is, I mean, if you can't make it a team fight and your team's about to lose, then you might as well just go split push. You gain some farm and gold for yourself, and you prevent the enemy team from going all the way down mid and taking your tier 3s.
But does it help them in the end game, or well, not even end game, but I mean, I guess it's just the best possible solution he could do since the team fight was lost anyway. But, I mean, they're just lacking something. I mean, they have the Sanking, they have the Darkshare, but of course, Power Rangers themselves, they're not grouped up for the massive combinations anyway. They're just split pushing on their own as well. Mirana is really good for split pushing because it's actually really hard to kill him off, especially since he has the Aegis as well, and level 4 leap. She's really speedy after she leaps with the Manta style movement buff. And Sand King, pretty much the only stun, it should actually not be enough to kill off the Mirana.
Wow, so where did all the gold go for Weaver? I thought Weaver had around 3k plus, and now suddenly Weaver's down to 2k. Oh, so Weaver is going for the MKB. Yeah, he bought the Demon Edge.
Well,
okay,
we were talking about it as well, that he needs to go for it at some point in time at least. So he just rushes for it more or less. Although that actually will give him some pretty sick damage output already.
And instead PGG, he decides to go for a 4-staff. This is alright as well. If his epicenter ever, like if he ever gets hit during the epicenter, he can still 4-staff himself into the middle of the fight. And now he has so much maneuverability as well. I mean,
Nubik, Scandal, he sees him. If they get the silence, they only need like 1 or 2 more heroes, and they're gonna get it. They pop the Lincoln Sphere, they go FNG, Polar Punch as well. There's the silence coming out, they should have enough damage, Snowball to follow, and excellent pick up there.
Yeah, before he goes for that MKV, he needs the BKV. It's only 1 letter difference, but it's a world of difference.
Yeah, I mean,
a matter between like life and death, really.
Oh, mid lane though with just a huge double Viper struck up. Afterlife is there with the Ion Shell, and there's the vacuum as well. The mech comes out, but I think it's gonna go down even with the slow attack from the Untouchable. The wall even deployed for it. Oh my god, they wanted that kill so badly, and I guess getting 1 hero makes it so the Power Rangers at least can't go high ground.
No, this is the worst part about it. Darkseid used the wall, and now what's stopping from Power Rangers from going high ground? You have an epicenter, but Night Stalker has BKB, Tidehunter has Pipe, and Mirana has Aegis.
Oh, so they find the Shadow Demon as well, FNG with his Blink there. The defensive disruption comes out, but he's gonna go down. Shiva's card by J4, Scandal gets the kill. And well, with 2 heroes down, PGG, he's there at the moment, and Power Rangers, they TP back because Afterlife, he's split pushing again. FNG though goes in, there's the Walrus Punch, Ice Shards to follow, BKB by Afterlife. He has the TP, he's going for it, and it's gonna be successful as well.
Oh wow, so once again, Afterlife buys time for his teammates. That time he didn't have the wall, so he went for the split push. But personally, I feel like Power Rangers, they could have just neglected that tier 2 tower. they could have easily gone for the high ground push. Doxia without the wall, the Weaver was dead, and you get another pick off. So Shadow Demon can't save anyone that's in trouble. What's really stopping you from making that play?
Well, more or less nothing, to be honest. I mean, really, they should not be worried about the tier 2 at the moment, but I guess they had some items coming out as well, like BKB is finished on Scandal now. It's a 10-second charge as well, so full duration where he can just go ham in the team fight. Crystal is picked up on Moon, and if she does not want to save for buyback, she actually could buy up the Daedalus almost immediately.
Oh yeah, it's the common mistake that new players like me make all the time. When I see I have the money for a big item, it's like, ah, it's so tempting. I'm not gonna die. It's hubris. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna position myself like a real pro, and then I'll never get caught out of place. And then boom, I cost my teammates the game.
Oh, looks like Dream Team, they want to get the edge in the fight. They're going aggressive at the moment. And well, they have the Shiva's card finished on Afterlife as well. They do get rid of the tier 2 tower thanks to Nubik with the Desolator, of course. And well, he definitely probably wants to save for buyback. Otherwise, he could finish up the Monkey King bar. But meantime, FNG split pushing mid as well. But Power Rangers, they're the one who have to react. The Desolator, the creep wave, it's doing a lot of damage to the tier 3. But there's coming in J4. He gets stunned immediately, activates the pipe. BKB by Afterlife as well. Scandal comes in from behind Shadow Demon. He drops low. He gets surged up. And well, Power Rangers, Moonlight Shadows, they have the blink off. J4, he wants to go for it. There's the Viper Strike on him. He's slowed down. Blade Mail activated by ZXC. He doesn't want to take too much damage. The Ravage, almost. It gets cancelled. But ZXC Arrow will miss his but Viper. He's there alone. Oh, Epicenter Burrow Strike. Ravage comes out. The Epicenter almost gives off a Majestic. There's the Vacuum. There's the wall. Almost 2 heroes down already. I mean, it's a 2-for-1 so far. Shadow Demon is there as well. PGG, he got his escape. And Dream Team, somehow they managed to win this fight. Oh,
wow.
Nubik. Oh, that arrow. Man, that fight. Oh, they still want to chase Nubik. If they get the silence, if they get the initial slow, there's the slow, there's the silence as well. Nubik, he's gonna fall. No time lapse, no nothing.
Oh man, that BKB, I mean, like that lack of BKB is just so costly. How many times have we seen him get silenced up, instantly bursted down, because he doesn't have the magic immunity to deal with it. And by the time he goes to a BKB now, I believe there should be... Okay, so Night Stalker is going for a plate mail, so it has to be an Assault Cuirass. So, once again, this game, Power Ranger, the heroes are doing... Like, it synergizes perfectly. You're gonna have Mirana in the back doing so much damage. And Night Stalker, Tusker, as well as Titan, that is just gonna charge at you. And that puts you in a huge dilemma. Like, what do? Do you deal with the guys who are, like, coming, ramboing into your face? Or do you deal with like the long-range sniper just like right-clicking you from afar?
I mean, there's actually no good way to go about it for them. They actually can't achieve either really nicely. I mean, they're just in a bad position. And well, checking at the graphs now as well, finally the gold graph just steepening a little bit for the side of Power Rangers, nearing 9k or so, as XP finally in their favor as well, and at the exact same mark, around 9k.
Yeah, and we're stuck in a permanent nighttime as well. I mean, this is just so hard to deal with, but I do believe once it becomes day, those 4 crucial minutes, Dream Team have to take advantage and capitalize on that, during the weakness of Night Stalker. And during the daytime, Sand King should buy up a smoke, so he can stand in the back, because Night Stalker no longer has that ridiculous huge AoE vision range, so that would allow easy setup for that epicenter. Otherwise, it's so hard to channel the epicenter because Night Stalker is always going to be on top of you. They're going to be looking out for that, you know? It's not like, hey, I'm hidden in the trees and he can't find me.
That's actually something really smart that he could be doing. I mean, Shadow Demon buys up 2 now, and they're going for FNG mid lane. He gets the money burst. Afterlife is there with the vacuum, only on to 1, but the counter Ravage on 5 heroes. There's the snowball being formed. Arrow into Nubik's face, and can he actually get the time lapse up? He's so close, he gets it. There's the silence though. Scandal activates his BKB. The epicenter is there, but onto the tanky heroes like the Tide. He gets the Burrow Strike, but Majestic, he's also pretty tanky. And ZXC, the Urn, he's actually going to tick down just from it, but Moon, Nubik, he's chasing him down with the Desolator, with the Monkey King bar. But now he's caught and he's gonna go down. Oh, PGG wanted to save him with the Burrow Strike, but in the end gave away his life. So a 3 for 2. And well, I guess Dream Team, it couldn't have gone too much better for them. I mean, getting 2 kills, I guess it was decentish considering, I mean, the Power Rangers, they're just in such a better position.
Oh, if Power Rangers didn't take that rush, the outcome of that fight, it would have been hard to say because the Mirana died with the Aegis. But wow, look at this Mirana, just so stacked. Having Daedalus and having a Boost of Travel and Helm of Dominator. So at this point, I feel like it's a little bit out of control for Dream Team. But the whole game, I don't think we've ever gone to see the Darkseer with the Sand King combo because Power Rangers have been playing so on point. They know exactly the things to watch out for. They know Darkseer is going to come in, Sand King is going to come in as well, and then so they always target one of the heroes, and generally it's been the Darkseer who's been the victim. So when they're engaging on the Darkseer, stopping him from being able to pull off the combo, and those TIE Ravages have just completely stalled the combos coming out of Dream Team.
You mean this counter initiation by the TIE Hunter, that was excellent and all. Dream Team, I mean, I guess, or I think at least, that the biggest mistake in that fight was using the vacuum only on the Tusk.
Yeah, indeed.
And he was already purged up anyway, so I don't know.
And Night Stalker had BKB on when he was standing in the middle of the epicenter.
And he went on Tide, who has a pipe of insight. I mean, he got the Burrow Strike a little bit later on onto Enchantress, but even the Enchantress, 1.5k HP mech on her as well. So, I mean, they're just all so tanky already, so even with the combo, it's going to be hard for them to get the kills.
I like this move coming out from Dream Team right now. This might be considered as a last-ditch effort, but if you look at it, it's daytime. What other better choice do they have? Even though Scandal is holding on to that darkness, they will have the quote-unquote peak advantage because they're on the high ground and they're all smoked up. And there's no Aghanim's effect.
They see the Enchantress, they surge up, there's the Vacuum, there's the Burrow Strike as well, only onto one, and the Ravage once again coming to turn it around. Walrus Punch, they're dropping so low. Nubik, he doesn't get the time lapse out. 3 are already dead, and just look at the life on Power Rangers, they're all at full HP thanks to the pipe and the mech. And well, they didn't even have an epicenter there, all the wall. I mean, they were the ones jumping in, but Tide Hunter, I mean, just such a strong counter initiation again, and that's GG called.
Wow, so that team fight, the Vacuum Walk plus Burrow Strike combo only landed on the Enchantress, and I guess after you pull off a combo like that and your team gets wiped, there's no other choice but to call the GG.
Power Rangers literally took 0 damage from that pretty much. But once again, it was just Vacuum only onto one hero, and that's not what you want to go for the Darkseer pick with. I mean, their draft overall, I think it was pretty strong. Dream Team's just Power Rangers from the early rotations, getting the early advantage, or at least getting the map control from it, as well as controlling the pace of the game and just riding that wave until the end of this game.
Yeah, so unfortunate the execution just wasn't quite on par with Power Rangers. Yeah, I guess can't wait for the next game.
Yeah, this is it for game number 1. This is a best of 3 series, so Dream Team, they have at least one more game to play. If they win this and take this to a game number 3, then even better, but don't go anywhere, as we from Heflatv, myself, Coucher and Mito, will be back for game number 2.